We are visiting Brooklyn Primary School with ECD curriculum advisor and professional mentor Heidi Julies. Heidi gives workshops to establish the needs in her district and goes on to help and advise her teachers. Today she is working with first-year teacher Megan Lateghan and her grade 1 class.
You can go in first. Good morning, grade 1.
Good morning, Miss Lateghan and friends.
Very good. Sit down. We are going to start with the weather. Who is going to look today what the weather is like? Good. Sunny. And is it, what else? Windy?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, sunny and windy. Now we're going to start with some work. Why do we have to do work?
Because we want to be smart. We're going to also get a car.
Oh, one day you can buy a car, yes, if you do well in school. Okay. Remember, we've started with sentences.
Oh,
Yes.
yes.
Now we're going to learn some more about sentences. What does a sentence start with? Beyonce.
Capital letter.
What is a capital letter? Bitsy?
A big letter.
A big letter. You start a sentence with a capital letter and you write your name with a capital letter. And then Lisa also said that you write the month with a capital letter. What does a sentence need to end with?
Full stop.
Why does it end with a full stop?
You can show that it's the end.
But does it have to be a full stop? Isn't there something else that can tell us at the end of a sentence? Yes?
Question mark.
A question mark. When do we use a question mark?
Yeah, writing who is that girl and then you put a question mark.
Yes, why?
When you ask someone a question, then you put a question mark.
Yes.
Ms. Lateghan, thank you very much for allowing me to come and observe you today. I really appreciate it, and I think we both would have learned a lot from this experience. Well, how do you think your lesson went?
I think it went well. There was a few moments where I think I could have done a bit better. I was unsure of what exactly to do.
Okay, but don't worry, we'll have a little bit of a discussion, and I'll tell you some of the things I think you can maybe improve on. It was a very good lesson, and I think it was enjoyable for the learners. Starting with your lineup, your learners are very disciplined. They were standing in their lines quietly, and they were listening to you, and you could see the discipline is enforced there, so that was a very good way to start your day. Your learners went and they went straight to their tables, and they greeted and they sat down. I would actually recommend that you rather start your day off on the carpet. Okay, because the carpet is giving us a sense of togetherness. It gives us a sense of, belonging. We all come together. We're now going to be doing what we want to do for the day. It's just a good way to start.
What day is it today?
Wednesday.
Wednesday. Very good.
You did the days of the week. I'd like to teach you a song maybe that you could use in future because, the kids like singing, and I see in your class, they also like the singing. I liked, however, the song that you did about the months.
Okay, let's quickly go through the months. From where do we start?
January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December.
Very good. You guys are so clever.
And did you see the reaction?
Yes, they do enjoy that, I've noticed. Yes.
Yeah, when you started, they just carried on and they really, really enjoyed it. So you can see that the kids like singing. You asked them about the different seasons. I would also recommend that you sequence it in the correct manner. You asked them, they gave the answer, but they gave it at random,
yes.
So just in future, just tell them, remember now we start with summer, then it's autumn, then it's winter, then it's spring, so that they know that that's the sequence of seasons.
All right. And what is tomorrow? Yes? Friday, yes.
Thank you very much for encouraging them and for praising them, because I think sometimes teachers forget that.
Eyes on me, grade 1.
I like what you did, eyes on ma'am. Just explain to me how that works.
It's just something that gets their concentration back.
Okay.
Seems to work quite well.
Congratulations, it's a very good idea. So keep on doing that because it gets their attention when you need it. I noticed that, some of the learners didn't have their pencils sharpened and some of them were looking for colors. Just as a time saver, I would suggest that you make sure before the lesson starts that they've got all the pencils or whatever they're going to be using and that it's all sharpened.
Yes, I have a problem with some of them don't have their colors anymore and they've lost pencils. I think I must try and get that also organized. Yes, remember we've started with sentences. Yes. Now we're going to learn some more about sentences, so that in a few weeks we can start to write our very own sentences.
I've noticed where the learners had to construct their own sentences. The sentences were all about the same. There wasn't longer and shorter sentences. I would suggest maybe in future, especially for those learners who are a bit fast, that you have maybe extra sentences for them or maybe longer sentences so that by the time they are done, the others have also finished. Just remember the Bloom's taxonomy principles that we look at the different levels. So try to incorporate that in your lessons as well.
All right. I was unsure about that because I didn't want maybe a weak learner to get a longer sentence. So maybe I should have extra. All right. And you copy down your sentence very nicely.
You remember you asked the learners that they should copy the sentence that they had onto the little piece of paper you gave them with the lines on. I think it would be a good idea if you first show them on the board. You write your own little sentence on the board so that they can see where the letter should be, because did you notice what happened there?
Yes, I noticed that I had to then correct them because some wrote in the top line and some didn't know where. Yes, that was something I realized afterwards.
Okay, good. So for future, just make sure that you explain to them what exactly it is you want them to be doing. I know you were doing a language lesson, but just for future, a good thing to do is to have on the desks the learners' names and then also a number chart and a number line for the mathematics, because remember there's a lot of integration with the subjects in the foundation phase, and then it is on the learners' desks. I've noticed that you don't have a birthday chart in your classroom. Did I miss it?
No, that's something I don't have.
And a weather chart, because you spoke about weather and you had the small pictures.
Yes, I also don't have a weather chart. I'm still trying to decide if I should make one or where I could get one.
I'll give you an idea of one that you can make yourself. So you can use one chart for a birthday chart as well as a weather chart.
Right, that's a very good idea. Yes, thank you.
Is there anything else you would like me to discuss with you?
I have a problem with where the learners should sit. I've got some weak learners, and then I've also got some that are bright children, but they're a bit disruptive. How should I arrange them? Yes.
If you can have them in front, put the disruptive learners as well as the learners who are a bit weak closer to you than the rest. But as you see the behavior improves, you can move the learners to the middle or to the back. I noticed that your desks are arranged for the learners to face the front. Do you always leave your desks like that, or are there times when you rearrange them?
For the moment, I've just been leaving them. I'm actually not sure how they should be. Should I put them in groups? Should I have them like they are at the moment? Some teachers tell me no, groups don't work, and some teachers say group works.
If you, for instance, are doing a handwriting activity and you would like all of them to face the board, it's fine to have your desks arranged like that. But if you're doing an activity where they are maybe going to do like today's sentences, you could have them in groups. So it depends on the activity that you're going to be doing. But it's always a good idea to have a variety.
Yes, all right.
All right. Other than that, thank you very much. I think it went very well today. And I'm sure when I come back, we're going to have lots of different new activities and improvements.
Yes, I've definitely learned a lot. Thank you so much for your ideas.
1 week later, we returned to Megan's class to see the results of her first mentoring session and if Heidi's suggestions so far have helped her classroom management while keeping her learners excited and involved.
The girls can go. On the carpet, eh? And where do we put our hands? In your lap. Very good. And it stays in your lap. Let's do our good morning song. Do you still remember it? Yes. How does it go?
Good
Morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning, Miss. Good morning to you. A few minutes for some news. Who has something they want to tell me? Yes.
I was at the shop's birthday, Mommy. It was my grandma's birthday on Tuesday. They did put cake on her face.
We're quickly going to go through our English words. Okay.
Word. Bye.
Okay, I'm going to put down if you're good.
Yes.
Mm-mm.
That.
That's better.
Me. Play. See.
Together. Very good.
Eyes.
Ah, that didn't sound like with.
Yes. Worth.
That's better. We've been learning about how to care for your pet. Okay, and we've got these beautiful things here. And today we're going to do the labels. So what does this say?
Toys.
Okay, why do you need toys for your pets?
Because we need to play.
Why do you need to play with them?
Because we like to play.
Animals are just like you children. Don't you like to play? Yes, you like to play.
Thank you again for allowing me to come into your classroom today, to come back and see how much you've improved in your class. I think it went very, very well. But before I tell you what I think, you tell me, how do you think your lesson went today?
Yes, I think it went very well. It's definitely much better than before. It helped a lot to take them to the carpet, and I had a lot more control over my learners. So definitely implementing all your suggestions has helped a lot. There are 7 days, there are 7 days, there are 7 days in the week. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
I see that you started off on the carpet. You had lots of songs that you were singing. I see you taught them the Days of the Week song, and I see they enjoyed that very, very much.
And it's working well. They really enjoy doing the songs and the poems together. And whose birthday is it this month, in August? Whose birthday? We can look on our birthday chart over there. This month, in August.
Then I see you made a lovely birthday and seasons chart.
Yes, I used your idea to make the charts, and the learners really enjoyed it. It was group work where all the learners' birthdays that fell in each season worked together. They drew pictures and they pasted their names down, and they really did enjoy that. And now they know whose birthday is in which season. They know. They've also actually learned when their birthdays are. And I can use that every single day in my morning routine.
And I also see now that you started to implement differentiated teaching. How's that working for you?
That's working very well. I find that I've got some learners that are stronger, that work much quicker. So I give them a different activity to what I give to my weaker learners. I find that if I'm walking around, firstly they know that I'm there, so that helps with the discipline. And I also find that it helps that I can quickly see who's struggling, I can go down to their level and quickly assist them. And I also think they like the attention, they know that I'm giving them individual attention, so that's great.
And I see you've also now started to implement having group leaders in your class. Tell me about that.
Yes, the group leaders definitely helps a lot. It helps me because now I don't have to waste time to hand out worksheets and activities and books. And it also works well for the children. They take responsibility and they really enjoy being the group leader. They wait their turn, and sometimes I have a couple of fights where they want to be the group leader so badly, but then we work through that and they all have their turn.
Then I also see that we've got lovely placemats.
Yes, the placemats. That's an idea that I came up with. I took your idea about having the number lines and the counting charts and their names and their surnames on their desk, but then I decided to make something fun out of it. So I gave them a large sheet of paper and they drew a picture, colored in their name in a creative font. Then I laminated that, and there's various uses for that. I find that sometimes they mess on their tables, they're small still, so that helps for that. And then they've got the maths on the other side, and also creative things. When we're working with Play-Doh or that kind of thing, they can use their placemat.
I see you had a lovely display table today with the pets. The objects that was on the table, did you bring them along? Did the learners bring them?
For today's display table, I brought the objects, but I've thought about it. In the future, I could maybe have them bring the objects. If it's something that I know they'll most probably have at home, I could ask them the week before to bring their own objects and then have them place it on the table. I think that'll be a great idea.
Well done there. Then I see that on all the learners' tables, you've got little containers now with pencils and sharpeners. And how did that come about?
Yes, I also took your suggestion of having the stationery ready and available. I also now make sure the pencils are all sharpened. The day before, during waiting class, they take turns to sharpen all the pencils, and that really saves time. So that's a great idea.
Wonderful. That's very good. I think it's working very, very well. Is there anything else that you feel that you need some more assistance or guidance on?
I think the discipline is still a problem. I struggle to sometimes keep them quiet and sitting still.
Now, can I tell you, you're doing very, very well in that respect. As a first-year teacher, you know that there's lots that you will still learn, and I think you might feel that you're having discipline problems, but in fact there's actually constructive noise taking place in the class because the learners are actively busy. And you saw even with the strategies you've implemented now, there's already an improvement. Those learners that you find are disruptive, you could maybe think of a different type of reward system for them that's only pertaining to them, and get that discipline on track as well. Then I see you've got the reward system, but you've also got an additional point system now. How does that work? I don't know that one.
Yes, I came up with a new idea where they start with 50 points and then they can work to earn points, or they can unfortunately lose points if they break some of the rules. So I find that it works very well. They try to get their points, and it's also the maths because they count in fives. If they lose points, they lose 5 points, or they plus 5 points. And I always have the whole class counting with me. At the end of the week, the 5 learners that have the most points will have a small party, a popcorn party, and they'll have something to enjoy as a reward.
And the popcorn is inexpensive, so you don't have to spend a lot of money on that, and the children enjoy it, so it's something that they would work towards because they're getting some kind of reward in the end. I just want to thank you very much for allowing me to come into your class and for allowing me to give you some guidance and recommendations and for implementing it. And I can already see there's a lot of improvement, so I want to thank you for the opportunity to be able to do that for someone.
Yes, thank you. You've been a great mentor, and it's really helped me a lot. I've made a lot of improvements and changes, and I can definitely see that everything that I've implemented has definitely worked. So thank you so much for helping me.
It's a pleasure. Anytime.